Math 24 students. Now that you've watched the Getting Started in Canvas videos, you know how to get into Canvas and get to the home page for the class. Once you're on the home page, there's two different ways to get to the modules that have all the work for you to do in them. So one is to click this Modules button in the navigation. When you do that, you will go to the top of the Modules page, and then you'll have to scroll down to what you're looking for. The other way you can do it is to scroll down here on the home page and click on the module that you're interested in. So let's look at the week 2 module, because that's the first week when you'll need to start doing homework in the Knewton software. So you're not going to see this yet because I haven't published it yet, but I will as soon as I can. And there are learning resources here that include the filled in course pack notes that you're going to fill in by watching these lecture videos. And then there's a reminder about the Knewton homework assignments that will be due that week. I'm not putting the Knewton homework assignments in the module because the modules have to be marched through in order, and you may not want to do your Knewton homework in that particular way. So I've made it so all of the Knewton homeworks, and you won't see all these modules yet because they're not published. The next thing you'll see will be this Knewton homework. So all of the Knewton homework is in one module all together. And so you're just going to march through, and you can see that the due dates are here, so you will know which week the assignments belong in. And then I also have provided you with the Knewton tracker document so that you can download that and keep track of which assignments you've already completed on that tracker. So to get started in Knewton, when you click on these links, it's going to take you out of Canvas. So you went in a door to get into the Canvas shell, and now you're going to actually go through another door out of Canvas into Knewton. But the only way you can get to Knewton is by going through Canvas. There isn't a direct door to Knewton from outside. So that does have a drawback in that you'll continue to see these Canvas navigation buttons over here on the side, and they take a little bit of your screen space. So the first homework assignment, you're going to click on that. It's identify slopes and intercepts of lines. So this is going to be a review assignment to try and start gently. So you're then going to click launch in a new tab, because that's what's going to take you to the Knewton software. So I want to show you what happens when you do it. So I'm switching to student view. And when you click on the first homework assignment, you're going to come to this page. I'm called test student, so it says welcome test. Yours will say welcome whatever you have in Canvas as your first name. So this is the purchase page. So you won't be able to get to any of the homeworks until you go through the purchase page. And here are your choices. So if you need to buy your access for the homework software at the bookstore, you get a cardboard folder with a code in it, and it's shrink wrapped. If you open the shrink wrap, you cannot return it. So if you're at all unsure, it might be better to get the free courtesy access before you open up that cardboard packet. So from the bookstore, it costs a little over $51 plus tax. And what you get in that cardboard folder is a code that when you click here, it gives you a place to enter that code. So if that's not how you're going to do it, then you have two other options. So you can either select pay as you go, $9.95 per month. And if you choose this option, it counts the month of January, even though we're starting at the very end of January. So you would have to pay for January, February, March, April, and May, so 5 months. So it would be almost $50 if you choose this plan and you don't have the option of the free 14 days of courtesy access. So that is one of your choices. And then the $39.95, it is bought from Knewton through this website using credit card information. So if you don't have a credit card to use for this, you could go to Walmart or Target or any of the stores where you can buy a prepaid credit card and just put $39.95 on the credit card, and then you can use it to do this purchase. If you're going to buy the $39.95 access for the entire semester, then you can first get 14 days of free courtesy access before you'll need to pay for the software access. So what you're paying for is access to the homework software. And it has lots of bells and whistles that I'll tell you about. And I've been using it in my college algebra class for several semesters, and I get very positive feedback from the students about how useful it is for their learning. So that's what you need to do to get started in Knewton, is you need to come to this first assignment. You're going to click on the first assignment, and I have numbered your assignments 1 through 46, and you'll see that they don't match up any kind of numbering system with the numbering system I'm using for the guided notes and the videos. That's because we've been using an expensive textbook, so those notes and videos go with that textbook's numbering system. But I decided to try this instead because of the $40 price point, hoping that more students would be able to take advantage of having this available. So once you go into the Knewton software, I'm going to go back to not the student view, because I'm able to enter into Knewton so that I can show you around. So you go to the first assignment, and it launches in a new tab. And then here's how it will look to you. You'll be able to see your average mastery, what % of this assignment have you completed. It will tell you how much time you've spent working. It will give you an average number of questions, and then it will show you your status on here are the 3 subtopics, and you'll be able to see how you're doing on each of those. And also, as you start working, you'll see that it gives you an estimated amount of time to complete the assignment. As you're going along, it's collecting lots of data about how long it's taking you and how you're doing, and giving you an estimated amount of time. I would strongly recommend that you don't wait until the homework is due to start on it. Most people don't learn well under time pressure, so please don't put time pressure on yourself. There is no reason at all to work on a homework assignment at 11:45 p.m. because it's due at midnight. You can work on it the next day and finish it then. And I would much rather you do that and get some quality learning time than get it done by some particular arbitrary time that isn't a good time for you to be doing your work. So I do want to show you what's available in Module 0, Getting Started. I will be putting this video on this page called Getting Started in Knewton once it's completed. So it will replace this one from last semester. This is a short video from the Alta company telling you about their software. And then this is some PowerPoint slides with more information, and then a short video that the Knewton company has made. And then this FAQs document is actually pretty helpful. And I also find that if I just type a question into Google, so if I want to know how do I enter an exponent in Knewton, I just type that into Google, and because it's spelled with a K, it knows what you're asking, and almost always I get a good answer right away. So that's worth a try if you're trying to figure something out in Knewton. So let me go back into Knewton and show you another cool feature is that on every page in Knewton, you'll have one of these chat boxes. So these are for Knewton questions. So if you have a question like, how do I draw the graph of a line? Or how do I get the parentheses to go where I want them to be? That's the sort of question that you can use this chat for. They don't answer math questions. They don't answer content questions. It's a general Knewton help person, and they're doing all kinds of different topics, economics and chemistry, and so they're not content experts, they're Knewton experts. But they're very prompt about answering when you click on the chat. And that's one of the things that I like about this company and why I've continued using their product is they're very responsive. And then when you finish each homework, it's going to ask you to give them some feedback. I don't get that information, so please feel free to be candid with them. They really want to know, how was this assignment? How did you find it? Were there any problems? Is there anything they could do to improve it? And they really want to know because they are always trying to improve their product. So once you get started in Knewton, you will see that it has lots of instructional materials embedded within it. It has videos and text. So I really want to recommend that you use the Knewton materials and my videos and fill in notes and not random websites to just find out how to do this problem, because that won't help you do the next problem because it will be different. And it will take so long if you Google every problem, whereas if you learn the topic, you'll get faster and faster at doing the problems yourself, and it will probably actually take less time. So let me encourage you to use the learning materials in Knewton, do the fill-in notes with the lecture videos, and then if you're still stuck, there are helps available that I've recommended in the syllabus, and you can use the Sierra College Tutor Centers for your homework questions. You can use tutor.com for homework questions. They may be less helpful because they're not Sierra College people, so they won't know how we do things at Sierra College, but they can be helpful with general information. So if you come up with any difficulties getting started in Knewton, if you just have questions about how it works, please let me know. Most students find it pretty easy to navigate, but if you're having issues, please ask. It is so important to get brave about asking questions when you need some clarification. So let's get started in Knewton as soon as you possibly can, and let me know how it's going for you.